I liked everything except for them raspberry peas.
Martin. Martin. Yes, sir. All right, we got one.
Yeah.
We got one.
Okay. I
Yes,
got
sir.
to make sure I got this one right.
Yeah, man. You know.
All right. She chose his pale ass over me.
Boy, that's simple. Black lightning, dog. Come on, man. Come on.
Who said that?
Me. I said that. Come on, family.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man.
I get to smiling every time I do this. Got me so excited, bro.
No, boy.
Man, welcome to another episode of About to Blow Up podcast, man. And this one right here, real special episode. I got somebody sitting across from me that been knowing since childhood.
Yeah,
and we both getting to grow up and see
know.
each other, man. This real surreal to be right here, to just be right here in this room with you, even though like I know you, it's still like, you know what I'm saying, the aura of the room just changed when we came in here together. You feel me? It felt like the room got bigger. You know?
For sure,
Hey,
man.
we two giants, but that's what it felt like though.
Hey, man, you know.
Yeah, even talking to you before we, before I hit the press, I hope I pressed the play. Yeah, I did. I bet. Before I pressed play, I was just like, man, this gonna be like one of them.
Yeah.
It's gonna be one of them, man. Man, I appreciate you coming on.
Hey, man.
Let me keep going with the introduction before I even get into that. Man, this guy right here, man, is someone that, like, as long as I've known him, he's been able to like express himself in an artistic way that I couldn't imagine doing for myself. And it inspired me because he's done it at a young age. And
I appreciate that, man.
I mean, we the same age, but just to grow up seeing him like actually do things that people probably would have been like, bro, you too young to do that, and him to take advantage and just be like, I'm gonna have fun with it because this is my passion. Everyone else, I mean, we in Alabama, this is a sports driven state.
Oh yeah.
And this guy right here is like just more driven into the arts. Whether it be acting, whether it be music, he just wants to be into the art, the field of arts, and that's an inspiration in itself right there, man. Because like,
appreciate
when people see you, they gonna see more than just like this guy is just like, oh, we ain't gotta just be athletes to,
right. Exactly.
we ain't just gotta rap.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm gonna give you flowers to that for sure. I appreciate you for like taking that risk.
Hey,
that's
man.
a risk for real. Like I said, Alabama sports driven state.
Yeah.
So where like people like, especially if you black, you playing sports, people like worship you. I felt that. And
man, and it is a risk. You know what I'm saying? I'm the first in my family to be doing what I'm doing. Every male in my family is either gone to the military or they engaged in some kind of sport. And I played sports when I was young. I mean, that was all that was around me. So that's all I knew to get into. You know what I'm saying? So, but then I got to a point I was like, all right, this things with sport is cool. You know what I'm saying? But I started, sitting in front of a TV screen. I noticed that I would be glued to that when a movie was on or if somebody was performing. And I said, I don't want to do nothing else. I want to do nothing else but that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to be on the TV. Like, I don't want it to be sitting in front of it. Like, I want to sit in front of it and see my face on it. Yeah. Or I want to be on stage on my concerts with 30, 40,000 people in it. You know what I'm saying? So, and I wanted to bring something new to the city. Wow. Introduce the city to something new. So that was my goal, man. Still is my goal. Wow. Yeah.
Well, if my introduction wasn't enough, man, you know what I'm saying? You got that right there from my boy. This my boy. Hey, you want to go with Daryl or DJ this episode?
DJ, man.
All right, my boy DJ.
Hey,
McCall, boy, shout out to you.
Shout out to you, dog.
I appreciate you coming on, man.
Appreciate you having me, man. Like I was telling you off the mic, man, like this is my first podcast. I ain't never did a podcast before, and so I'm just trying to see how this gonna fill out. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy.
This is my first one I did on the camera.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
That's crazy. All right, bet.
So, like I said, I always be smiling. I be smiling when I be doing, like when I just do the audio, I just be smiling, right? And I be trying to take my smile off, and it's just like, man, I love doing this, bro.
Hey, man, you know enjoy it.
Right.
Enjoy it, man.
I enjoy it so much that, like, no matter what I'm doing or what I'm going through in the beginning of the week, I know, like, by this point of the week, I'm going to be recording my podcast. I'm having fun doing that. I ain't even tripping on nothing else. Like, I'm cool with that, bro.
Right. It's take that courage, man, to enjoy something you do and then to show that you enjoy it, you know? Especially as black men, especially in this city, dog. Like we were taught, you can't enjoy nothing. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's just that aura. If you from Birmingham, you know what I'm talking about. Like if you around the city, been growing up in the city all your life, you just feel this dark era of like, I can't enjoy nothing.
Yeah.
Or you feel like I shouldn't enjoy nothing.
Yeah.
Because of what somebody done taught you or what your environment look like. You know what I'm saying? Or what your circumstance is. You be like, man, nah, I ain't trying to smile for nothing. No,
yeah.
dog, you got a lot to be.
Man,
you know what I'm saying?
I got a funny story about it. A lot of my close homies know about this. That I went to Pleasant when I first got.
I'm gonna put this joint.
Okay. Just make sure you be back in the mic. You know.
Yeah. I got you.
But when I first left New Life, you know, we both started.
Yeah.
When I first left New Life, I got to Pleasant Grove.
Okay. Right. All right.
Yeah, man. I ain't never really knew too much about the school, Pleasant Grove. I was living there for a minute, but I ain't know too much about the school.
Yeah.
So, man, some people gonna laugh so hard when they see this, man. But, I don't even care, bro. But it didn't, and this didn't even bother me back then when they used to do it. But when I first got to Pleasant Grove, bro, man, I ain't know kids is mean, bro. No matter what age they was all the same age. Dudes was picking on me.
Look,
so
we gonna get into that, dog. We gonna get into that
for sure, bro. So, man, I'm walking in school and I'm always smiling, bro. Like, shoot, I was always smiling in New Life. I'm smiling at Walmart, I'm smiling wherever I'm at. I'm smiling. You feel me? I got hazel eyes, right?
Yeah.
So me always smiling, got hazel eyes. So I just remember, dude, what you smiling for? I'm like, man, I'm just happy, bro.
See that?
Man, you.
See that?
It just rolled over into. Man, that fat gay nigga with the ass.
See that?
I'm like, golly, bro.
It's simply because, you know what I'm saying? And like I said, bro, it's if you enjoying somebody around you that ain't happy, they gonna make sure you not. They gonna give you a reason not to be.
Yeah, like misery love company.
Misery love company. You know what I'm saying? If you, bro, they gonna give you a reason not to be.
Yeah.
Regardless of, you know what I'm saying? Just because they feel like it. All right, well, what he smiling for? I ain't got nothing to smile about, so he shouldn't.
Yeah.
It's whack though, but
and it couldn't ever like anytime I even tried to do the little fake angry, fake looking frown thing, I couldn't do it, bro.
You couldn't do it.
I couldn't do it. It just wasn't me. It wasn't me, and then everything around me was just too good. What you smile? What you frowning for?
Right.
Like we come to school with new shoes and stuff like that. Like that we ain't paying for. Why are we frowning? You got free shoes basically.
Yeah. Pretty much anything, man. You know, speaking of high school, man, I'm gonna tell you, dog. My 4 years, I went to Shays Valley. You know what I'm saying? In my 4 years there, man, it was rough, dog. One of the roughest times in my life. I was only going to Shays Valley because they had a theater program.
For sure.
Like, you know, I've been.
Why didn't you go to Alabama?
I was looking at that.
School of Fine
I went
Arts.
to them first, and wasn't feeling the vibe, man. I mean, none against Alabama Fine Arts. You know what I'm saying? None against any of them. But it was just for me. It just didn't feel right. It just didn't feel right. The atmosphere was a little different, man. I went there, went through the program, did a whole tour of the school. You know what I'm saying? Talked with a few of the teachers from the program. You know, my mom talked about it. I was just like, nah, something missing. Something was missing. And so ended up going to Shays Valley, getting a tour of the school, doing an audition process. And anytime you want to get into any type of acting program in high school, there's an audition process. So
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So there was like a short little camp we did for about 2 weeks, I believe. And I think it was supposed to be more kids, but it was like 10 of us in there. And we literally spent 2 weeks of just getting introduced to what the program would be like. And then at that point, I decided, all right, this one would go. So I went to Shays Valley, man. And, bro, when I tell you, it was, I don't know if the word horrific is the right word to use for it.
All 4 years?
I would say 3 years. My freshman year was cool, but sophomore year to my senior year, junior year, the roughest year. But, you know, in high school, we trying to figure out who we are as individuals anyway. You know what I'm saying? Especially being around a bunch of, and mind you, man, in high school, especially public school, it's huge. You know what I'm saying? Compared to you. And for me, I had
Spain Park, one of the biggest schools in
one of the biggest,
Birmingham,
area, Spain Park, you know, and but with Shays Valley, man, my thing.
I meant to say Shays Valley.
You good. Yeah. But with Shays Valley, man, I felt so. You know, when people say you feel alone in a large group of people. You know what I'm saying? That's what I felt like. In my experience with people, that's when I really learned what life was about, what people was about. Like you said, kids are mean, dog. People can be cruel, dog.
Yeah.
Like for real cruel, you know what I'm saying? And I had some I had some cool moments in high school, but the ones I had the most were the most, you know, horrific ones. Excuse me, I remember we, every show we did, we had to audition for.
Mm-hmm.
And in my junior year, I wasn't getting no shows, man. I would go up there. They would make you audition.
Mm-hmm.
I would audition for every single show, but I wasn't getting a single role for any of those shows. And so for that year, they decided that they would have a way of punishing you. And what they would do is they would make you work on the tech. And so what the tech team would do, they would work the lights, they would work backstage and all of that. Sometimes sound and all of that, bro. Sometimes they have you, doing the little stuff that make you look, that kind of humiliate you in a way. And it made you feel belittled. You know what I'm saying? And man, walking them halls, bro, I feel like a ghost, man.
Yeah,
for real. Like the friends that I thought I had, that I thought were my friends, man, I knew they really weren't, but that's all I had. We were all the same. We all had one main interest, and that was the theater program. That's what we all were there for. And so that was the only way I could cope. It was like, if I crack jokes with these dudes, I'll be all right for the rest of the day. You know what I'm saying? Just let me get through this day. My escape throughout that whole 4 years was being on that stage, man. Like, all right, that's something familiar to me.
Yeah,
is the stage. That's all I knew. That's all I knew was the stage or a mic. But when I first in our senior year, what they would have us do is in order to graduate, we had to do a senior showcase. And so you had to perform 2 pieces right along. There had to be a show, and then you had to do something by yourself. So I said, all right, they want us to do a show. They want us to direct the show. So I said, everybody else was picking up these. They had these books, theater books of plays that they would have in the program. You could just pick a play out of that, and that's what you'll direct. I said, no, I'm gonna write one. Mind you, I ain't never written nothing before. So I said, all right, no, I'm gonna just write my own show. So I wrote. I decided to take off my life. So I said, what am I write about? And we had this incident in the family, man, to where it was traumatizing. Like, it was in my junior year. That's what kind of messed me up mentally and emotionally, man. And I was just walking through those halls like a ghost. Like, when I tell you I was alone, I ain't even have, like, my junior year, I would skip lunch. I wouldn't even go to lunch because I ain't know nobody at the lunch period. And I was an office aide that year. So I would just sit in the office and skip lunch every single day. I wouldn't eat till I got home.
Wow.
I'd rather be, you know what I'm saying, somewhere where I feel like I'm safe or I'm cool than to be around a bunch of strangers and then, But yeah. So I wrote, the play was called Deceptions Valley, and it's crazy. You could tell it was my first play as far as writing it, bro. I used Microsoft Word, bro, to write the joint. I ain't used no script writing software. I didn't even know what that was.
I was gonna ask, what am I supposed to do? I'm sitting here like, shit. I thought that's what you did.
Nah, but it's,
I ain't gonna lie. I really thought you got a notebook and just wrote in there more.
Sometimes it be like that.
Okay.
When it's your first time, you gotta either write it down, because whenever you get ideas, like me and you was just saying off the mic, whenever you have a creative flow, you just be ready to get moving. You know what I'm saying? Either put it down because you'll lose it.
Yeah, I do that with my phone.
You know what I'm saying?
Like,
if your phone ain't nearby, you ain't got a notebook, write that jank down.
Yeah.
Because it can be your biggest thing in the moment. Because you never know. You never know. But we did the show, ended up directing and writing the show. I took the show to them. They have to approve it first. So I let them read the script. And of course, they was hesitant because it was God-based. Of course, they were hesitant on that.
Yeah.
Nobody else was doing that.
Yeah.
Everybody else doing these other plays, by these great authors and great playwrights. August Wilson. If you all don't know who August Wilson is, he did Fences. That's the movie Denzel Washington and Viola Davis was in. But he wrote that play. A few other plays he wrote, Cat on the High Tin Roof, all of that. But he approved it. I didn't think he was going to because of what it was about. He approved it, and the person that was over the program. And then we ended up rehearsing the show, and man, when I tell you, I knew I had some. This is how I know. We did the show. We had to do it. I think it was 2 nights we had to do the show, and the first night, it was packed out in the theater, and I think my show was either third or second. And man, when the show finished, it was a standing ovation.
Wow.
I had people coming up to me after the show saying, everybody's shows are cool, but you had the best show. I said, I appreciate that. Mind you, I wasn't worried about people trying to tell me I had the best show. I'm trying to get out of here.
Yeah.
I'm trying to graduate.
Yeah.
I need the show to be good enough so I can dip, because I ain't trying to spend another a year with this. I ain't even think I was going to graduate high school.
Word.
Because, you know what I'm saying? Like me, I was struggling in school, man, to just be focused because of what my head was clouded, dog. I was in the darkness of place.
I knew I was going to graduate because I always sat around the people I was going to cheat off of.
Hey, Hey, man, it be like that, bro. It be like that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, that was how I felt like, look, all right, I'm like, all right, Lord, look, you already know what my situation is. I don't like it here. I'm trying to. I had it so bad. I was like, Ma, can I go to another school? Cause that's how alone I felt. But by the grace of God, bro, I got through all of it, and ended up graduating. Then after I graduated, man, ended up going to SCAD, Savannah College of Art and Design in Atlanta.
Oh, okay. I remember when you was going there. I never knew it was college. I knew you was always there.
Yeah. And the crazy thing about that is I didn't know about them till they came to the school. They sent a representative from Savannah down to Shays Valley to visit the theater program. I knew immediately. I'm like, this one I'm finna go. And so, man, I started going through that process and all of that. But yeah, we'll get into that later. But that was my high school experience, bro.
Word.
It was brutal. Word. But it made me the man I am now.
I was just gonna ask, like, do you wish you can go back and just be like, I wish my mama did pull me out? Or are you kind of glad that molded you?
I ain't gonna say that I'm glad, but I'm appreciative of the experience. Yeah. I said I'd never repeat it, but I would never change it.
You know, I think sometimes we go through situations. For one, it tests your passion.
Man, what?
It tests your passion. Two, it also tests your love. Just the love you have in your heart for it. Because when you love something, no matter what it is, you still gonna love it. No matter how bad people treat you when you go, you know, trying to show your craft. Yeah. If you love it, people laughing at it, you like, I'm only gonna get better. If you look at the situation and, you know, can come out of it like that and just be like, I'm gonna get better. No matter how goofy I think this is or what y'all see it as, I love this too much. Yeah, I'm too passionate about this. You can be pushed out of passion, but it might not even be your passion. Bro. You can get pushed. If you get pushed out of love, did you really love it?
I'm gonna tell you something.
You love theater, so you still in it, stuck with it.
Well, I love acting. I love acting. Theater was an avenue for me to learn it, to pick up the skill. Word. I'm not a big fan of theater because of the politics that goes with it.
So what kind of what's your genre? What's your favorite genre?
In acting?
Yeah. To perform.
Man, look, drama is number one for me because there's so many dynamics to it.
And does theater go hand in hand with drama?
Well,
because when I hear theater, I straight up think stage.
That's what it. Yeah. Okay. So when you think of theater, that's stage. When you think of acting
lights,
is
camera.
Theater. It's camera. It's short story. It's all of that. So when I say acting, that's why I say I'm not a big fan of theater because what I've seen with the politics that goes with it, and also for me, it's not a strong connection for it for me. You know what I'm saying? But when you said that people can push you away from love and passion, I kept my passion for acting, but I lost my passion and love for people. You see what I'm saying? It took me a while to pick that back up. It wasn't until 2017 I started to relearn, 2018 honestly, when I started to relearn that concept of having love for people. Man, after that experience, dog, I made sure. Even when I was younger, that's how I just was in the mind. It was like, I got to do anything at all costs to make friends. At any cost. If I got to give them $5, I'm going to do that. Yeah. If I got to tell jokes around them, I'm going to do that.
See, me, I was always I was stingy with everything. Yeah. I was stingy with money. I was stingy with time, all that. And I was like, man, you either going to like my energy or you just ain't going to be my friend.
It took me a while to get there. Word. For a few reasons.
Well, first, how did you know that wasn't the way?
Man, because when I got to actually when I was in SCAD in Atlanta, I made friends and they were real friends, but it was how whenever there was a certain situation that would be involved with another group of friends who I was trying to connect with, but it wasn't working, so I kept forcing that. When I had my homies over here, they had my back all the way. And I knew that wasn't the way because while I'm showing love to them, I'm dissing my homies. The ones that been with me, you know, and that'll ride with me. But these over here, they could kill this. Yeah. But you see what I'm saying? Yeah. My attention's drawn to them. Yeah. When I got my homies over here, like they was like, hey man, we going to the studio to record. I'm like, nah, bro, I'm gonna go hang with them. Yeah. And that's how I know when it became a distraction from my real passion, the craft.
Mm-hmm.
And when it came a distraction from seeing who, you know what I'm saying, was for me,
Mm-hmm.
that's when I knew it wasn't the way.
Yeah.
So, and it took, my mother kept telling me, man, she said, don't become bitter.
Mm.
Don't lose your kindness. She says, that's who you are.
Mm-hmm.
She said, don't lose that.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, nah, bro, because in my mind, I'm like, if I keep being kind, I'm gonna keep getting, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm keep getting hurt, and folks gonna
Yeah.
keep on, you know, running and walking all over me. But I understood especially as a man, like this concept of be cool and kind enough.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? But don't be no walkover, no pushover.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I had to get to that point, dog. For real. Yeah, man. But when I finally understood that, that's when I was like, all right, I gotta get past that. I gotta get them 4 years out of my head.
Mm-hmm.
It was so bad, dog. To where
was it a thing too where you had like anger directed at particular people that was kind of holding that into you?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So did you get to a point where you had to realize I got to forgive them in order to move on?
Yeah, I got to that point, but honestly with you, dog, it wasn't until the pandemic I dealt with all of it.
Had to sit in it.
I had to literally sit in it because I had to leave Atlanta. Atlanta was my escape pod. You know what I'm saying? That was a place I could feel like I was running.
Yeah.
God was like, nah, come on back home.
Yeah.
And sit in this and deal with it.
Yeah.
I was like, man, look, I'm trying to. He was like, no, sit in it.
Mm-hmm.
So I literally sat in my mess, bro. I sat in my mess, even the mess at home. I had to sit in that and deal with that. And that's when God really started working on me. He said, he told me this in my sleep, bro. He sent, and in the dream, man, it was like this real tall black woman. She had dreads. She came out the TV. It's like some old 70s commercials on the television at the old house we was at.
In a dream.
In a dream.
Word.
And she stepped out of the television. She was tall. She had to be about 8 feet tall. She was tall. And she bent down and she looked at me and said, she showed me a calculator. She said, this is how much money you could have. She typed it up. It was so much the calculator couldn't calculate it. She wouldn't let me see the numbers. But this is what she told me. She pulled it out the way to take my focus off the money. She said, but you have to learn to love on the nose. I know exactly what she meant. I have to learn to love on the nose. Meaning, exactly what my mother told me, don't become bitter. I had to learn to love people again. I had to put that out.
Yeah.
So I had to work on that, man. I had to forgive me. I had to forgive, you know what I'm saying, the things I dealt with in high school, even the 2 years prior to that. You know, I had to deal with all of that. So
I like what you just said too when you was like, I had to forgive me.
Yeah.
Like I think a lot of people want to, they want to get rid of some anger in their heart. But a lot of times you got to realize that anger in your heart starts with you.
It starts with
and
you.
I know for me, the anger that I had in me, and I don't know the truth for anybody else, but when I had to deal with forgiving myself, I had to forgive myself for letting some people take advantage of me.
Exactly.
Or I had to forgive myself for letting situations go down when I know I could have stood up and been a better man, been a better person, could have spoke up for myself. I had to forgive myself for that. And then I could start pointing the fingers at, okay, now instead of pointing fingers and saying, you hurt me, I can say, you hurt me, but I forgive you, and I love you, and I would never treat you like that.
I'm going to tell you, man, one of the main ways I was able to deal with that was I started taking virtual acting classes. They're out of L.A., Tasha Smith. She has a workshop that takes virtual classes, TSAW. I started taking classes with them in June last year. And one thing, man, is like, I'm just thinking it's going to be acting classes. When, dog, this thing was therapy.
Wow.
It was therapy because what it taught me, I ain't never learned this out of all the acting programs and the classes I done had prior to this taught me something much deeper. It taught you about yourself. And one of the things, man, every week we would come in and we would have these exercises we would do. And in order to do the exercises, you got to reveal about yourself. You got to be vulnerable to a class full of maybe 30, 40 people you don't even know, to the instructor, you know what I'm saying? You barely know who she is. You just now starting to learn her. But you got to be vulnerable. And as a man, you're like, I ain't finna tell nobody my business, man. Like,
Yeah.
But you got to do that in order to understand the character, because the character is a person that you're playing. So in order to understand their mindset, you got to dig in yourself.
Wow.
You see what I'm saying? And so I was like, man, all this stuff. And here's the thing that they would do I used to love. She would have us, Tiffany Tiffany Black is the instructor's name, but she would have us sit in a moment and she would ask us to talk to certain people from our past.
Mm-hmm.
And what would you say to them?
Mm-hmm.
She would say, think of a scenario of this.
Mm-hmm.
If you wanted to say something to somebody, what would you say? And
Mm-hmm.
bro, I thought of the scenario and I thought of the person or the people. I ain't even want to open my mouth.
Mm-hmm.
She said, no, you need to say it. And everybody would turn their cameras off, man. And I tell you, I had an emotional roller coaster trying to figure out a response. I'm like, how is she sitting there making me get so deep into myself for a character?
Wow.
But I'm healing as I'm getting into a character. You see what I'm saying? Like and that's part of, literally up to those classes and God guided me to that. That's how I was really able to deal with certain things, man.
Mm-hmm. I talked about this one episode. I think I said this on there, but if I haven't said it on there, I know I said it to someone before. But we'll ask God for we'll ask God. God, just get me out of this situation.
Right.
And I mean, was that one of your prayers? God, get me out of this situation, or God, make me better, or God, I don't want to hurt anymore. Right. That was so
my
similar.
main prayer was like, Lord, help me do better with me.
Right.
I didn't want God to just. That was my prayers prior to the years prior to. I'm like, Lord, just get me out of this.
Yeah.
And I understood. Then He was like, if I take you out of this, you won't learn nothing.
Right. See, mine was like that too.
Yeah.
Like, Lord, just get me. Like, come on, God. Like, I know I deserve better. I know the potential you gave me. Just put me where I need to be.
Yeah.
And God was kind of like similar to you. You got introduced to T-Saw.
Yeah.
I got introduced to books.
See that?
And one of the first few books he gave, like, just walked into my life literally, was The Alchemist. Oh my gosh, bro. The Alchemist. And the part of the story where Santiago was working at the glass store, and he's working with this guy that been there for like 30, 40 years. And he was just like, they kept seeing people walk past. They were buying glass, like bottles and stuff, like to get the stuff to drink.
Right.
And they buying all that stuff. And he's like, where are these people going? Why they coming in here to get, stuff to drink out of? And he's like, well, they going on a trip to Mecca. And he's like, why everybody trying to go there? And he tells him why. He's like, well, I used to want to go. And the older guy's like, I used to want to go there back in the day. He's like, why'd you stop?
Right.
He's like, I realized it just wasn't for me. He's kind of like, why? He's like, I got too old. So?
Right.
And Santiago kind of realizes, like, potential don't die.
Nah.
Like, because I know I still got, dreams in me.
Yeah.
I don't want to be here 20, 30 years.
Right.
And saying, oh, man, look at all these people living out their dreams.
Yeah.
I said, I can't do that.
Nah.
And that was like the book he put right there for me, because he was like, don't give up. I'm still with you.
Right.
And I needed that more than ever, bro.
Yeah, man.
Offer the prayer. Offer to get me out of this situation. Sometimes a lot of people look at the situation and be like, you may tell me what you're going through, and man, I'm having girlfriend problems and rent, and then the money ain't funny. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, hey, read this book and just walk off. Some people, man, I said I got girlfriend problems and money. You gave me a book.
That's the answer.
So I was like, but when God gave it to me, I was just like, well, let me check it out.
Yeah.
At least let me check it out. That's another thing I had to realize too. You got to get out that comfort zone.
Absolutely.
And just try stuff. Figure out what you do and don't like.
Yeah.
You can look at something and say, I ain't like,
Yeah.
But if you get in there and experience, you might be like, shoot, I'm finna be the best at this.
Right.
Because that was easy. My trial and error was easy.
Yeah.
So now I got to go out there and be like, shoot, I'm going to kill it now.
Yeah. And a lot of people don't have that courage, though, man.
Right.
A lot of people don't have that courage.
Courage. That's something else, too, I want to talk about.
Yeah.
I'm kind of backtrack a little bit.
No, you good.
So you said when you were younger, you was watching TV and was just like, I got it. That's where I want to be.
All right.
Even with the sports background. Like,
yeah.
I kind of charged, what was them shows you was watching?
Man, look, I started at 3 years old. I made a decision. This is what I wanted to do.
Wow.
At 3 years old.
That's crazy. I told Trey a couple weeks ago that I had a business plan that I wrote up when I was like 5 or 6.
You see what I'm saying?
You feel me?
Right. At 3 years old. Now, mind you, I don't know what the statistics is, but I can imagine that there aren't many 3-year-olds saying, I want to do this.
Yeah.
And sticking with it for their whole life. But I mean, I made that decision when I was 3, and I started getting active into it when I was 5 years old. Excuse me. So I started learning the game of it. I just started falling in love with film, man, and music. Just started falling in love with them both. Watching my favorite film to watch growing up, I was sitting in front of it, like literally sitting in front of it, was The Moment Returns, bro. When that first came out, that's what I would watch every day after school going to my grandparents' house.
Mm-hmm.
And we had this little horse dog. Can't believe I'm going to tell this story, bro. But they had this little horse, man. And I would have a sword in my hand, dog, acting out every single scene from within the film. And I knew the lines word for word. I would sit in front of the TV and just mimic the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
And you couldn't move me from that position. You couldn't move me. I was glued to that television, bro. I was glued to the art of it.
With your little costume.
Nah, I had school clothes on still, bro. I had school clothes on with the fruit punch stain all on it, man. You know what I'm saying?
Bad little kid.
But,
All bad little kid got the fruit punch
fruit, you know what I'm saying? The fruit punch stain with the towel on, man.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just sitting there glued to the television with that.
Yeah.
And as I got older, man, I started getting into these programs more and more. And I just, now that I think about it now, I'm just like, man, look, ain't nothing else. It's that and music. Music was something I didn't get into until later on. Mm-hmm. It was always there. It was always there, like a touching and pulling on me. I started singing in the choir when I was like, 7?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I did a solo. And we had to perform it twice that Sunday, but I messed up the second time. Nobody else noticed it but me.
Yeah.
And I was like, I can't do this no more.
Wow.
7, 8 years old, I was like, dang, I messed up. I can't sing. I ain't gonna do no more solos.
Yeah.
So I started running away from music. But then when I got to 10th grade, I touched on music again. Me and my homie Vidal, we had to Vito. Yeah. Yeah, man. Me and him, he was in the theater program too.
For sure.
He was in there,
we
know.
We getting up.
Yeah. And me and him, we had to do this project for our English class in 10th grade. It's on now it's a Netflix show, but the 13 Reasons Why.
Word.
We read that book before it was even a show.
Yeah.
So we had to read that, and then our English teacher gave us options. She said, y'all can do a video, y'all can make y'all can write a little play about it, or y'all can make a song. So me and Vidal turned and looked. Now we going to the studio. You know what I'm saying? We going to the studio. So we did this little mixtape, bro.
No. Where is it?
Nah.
It's on Spin Real. I know it's on Spin Real.
Nah, man. We started. My grandma still got that old
Where
CD in
is
her
it?
car, bro. Still in the backseat of her car. She still got the CD. And we call that Jane 31 backwards, bro.
No. 31 backwards.
31
13
backwards,
for
bro.
13
reasons why.
Wow.
And then, that was my first time going in the studio to record music ever and writing it.
Yeah.
So I was like, hold up, this kind of dope.
Yeah.
And, so I was like, maybe I'll pick this up later. But as I got into my senior year, that's when I was like, they're real strong. It was like something was crawling, pulling on me. I was like, I got to do music too. I got to. I couldn't stop it.
Yeah.
So it took me 2.5 years to figure out, all right, you want to do music, why? I had to figure out why. What is my artist name going to be? What am I going to say? And how am I going to be different from every other artist that's out there? Took me 2.5 years to figure that out.
Word.
So I figured that out. Then I had to figure out a style and my pen and all of that. Then it took me, I was like, all right, I'm tired of, I can't sit around and wait on no producer to send me beats no more.
Yeah.
So I was like, let me see if I doing this thing, man. So it took me 2 more years to figure out how to produce. Now I produce records too.
Wow.
So just, building off of one simple decision I made at 3 years old, and you never know how far that'll go. But, man, I got scripts that I've written. I've directed some things in college, man, produced, and, writing scripts is one of the things I enjoy doing, as well as doing music. But being able to take that first play I wrote in senior year, and now I got 5 or 6 other scripts on the back end. You know what I'm saying?
So beautiful how, like, full circle moments. So beautiful how the
full circle moments that you didn't even think were going to come.
Right.
But it's just how.
Like, I remember I tried to do music at one point. That song is, we made sure that got up out the internet. But I do remember I even thought about doing it again, like a couple years ago. Cam.
Yeah.
Cam had me. He hit me one day and was like, "Hey, I want you to get on the album."
Yeah.
So I was like, "Oh, see, that's God, because I didn't ask him. That's God." All right,
boy, say that God, boy, ain't he had to ask him, bro? Yeah.
So the only person that Cam was away. Cam was away, so I was like, well, what studio I'm gonna use? He was like, that's Jazz. I was like, all right, bet I'm gonna ask Jazz.
Right.
So I hit Jazz. And at first I asked Cam, I was like, so Cam, what you want me to say? You want me to give you some bars, bro?
Right.
Feel me? He was like, man, just do you. At that time, I was like, well, I guess you was. I didn't know what it was, but I was in my ego was like, hit them bars, boy. You know what I'm saying?
Them bars on them.
So I hit Jazz and was like, yo, man, you mind if I come to the studio? He's like, yeah, man, come through. I was like, yeah. He's like, Cam already told me, like, come on. But so I pull up. me and Jay, we kicking it all day. And he was like, so what you, he started, playing on the computer. He looking in. He was like, so what you gonna do, bro? I was like, man, I'm finna spit some bars. Right here is where Jazz killed the dream. I said,
that boy raw.
I said, cause I've been in the studio with Jazz when he was making records.
Yeah,
and I remember, I said, I'm finna spit some bars, bro. Jazz I'm right there. And Jazz looking at the computer. You're so stupid, boy. I was like, well, I ain't gonna do it no more. He ain't even feel me. He ain't react to nothing. I was like, nigga, I just said I'm finna come with some bars.
Right.
And right then, I was just like, I ain't gonna do it now. I gotta do something else now. And so I was just like, let me be serious on here. And that's where that was where it all started.
Yeah.
Like, anything I do behind the microphone, me just being like inspirational, trying to be like motivating on the microphone, it started from me being on Cam's album.
Wow.
Yeah. So like I said, that's crazy how God works, because I thought it was going to be music. I just knew I was finna come through like.
But you see, it's still with a mic though.
Right.
Your voice is still being used. It may not be used lyrically. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you never know.
And to me, if I would have went and tried to do that lyrically, I wouldn't have got to nobody. Yeah. Not like that. Yeah. Like not like God intended me to do.
Right.
You feel me? Like I would have got to. I could have got to right here trying to rap, but God trying to take me right here.
His vision,
by inspiring people. Yeah,
God's vision for us is much bigger than ours, man. It's much
bigger
than
bro.
We can imagine ourselves in.
For real, bro.
So you got to give it all to Him.
Right.
All of it.
Right. So I want to take it back again. So you mentioned Vito, but dog. You said y'all were at the camps with each other, right?
Yeah, we was in the same theater program.
On the set.
Well, we did on the set too.
Yeah.
Now that you think about that, but yeah.
And I see you won best actor in that movie, right? And best supporting actor.
Best supporting actor.
Yeah. Did a little research. Did a little
research. All right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So I know they bring out like different. They bring out stars.
Man, they bring out every year they bring out a celebrity, man, within the industry that would be for my shows the first year. I remember the first year.
That was your first year doing it, or that was the first year they brought it to Birmingham?
Nah, this is the first year me doing it. They had it prior. Kobe.
Word.
Kobe, he was in that before me, like 2 years before.
Oh, Kobe, light skin.
Holman, yeah.
Kobe Holman,
yeah. So he been in it 2 years prior to me. So I get it. This is my first year, and man, the audition process, man, the energy of the camp, the love of the people, like genuine, true love of the people in the camp, man, it was insane. And man, the celebrity they brought in was Wendy Raquel from The Game.
Yeah.
Dog, when I tell you, like, okay, this real.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like being in front of somebody and sitting in front of them. That was my first year.
Yeah.
And I was like, man. So, and also we got to sit with her. She did a Q&A. We all sat around her. And we got to ask her any questions that we wanted to about the industry, about her journey, about her remaining focus, but also the advice that she gave, man, was insane. And the thing was crazy. Like, that was my first year, but most of the work that I got to do was in the scenes with her because of the character I was playing, man. And I got to sit and talk with her for a minute. And she gave some real good game, man. She told me there was one scene. It was at the end. And we were at that the little house right next to the 16th Street Baptist Church now. The little house, it's used for something else now, but we could go in there. And that's where we were filming at. And bruh, me and my homie Greg, shout out my dog Greg, but it was a scene where we had to do a fight, and I had a metal bat in my hand. And so I lost grip. And boy, that just hit me in my chest and my lower area, dog, but I hit the floor. I was hurting for a minute. But we stopped it for a minute and so I can recover. But we got back filming, and she just showed love and kindness to me, man. She said, you kept pushing, and I love that. She said, because I kept going for the take. I didn't stop until the camera stopped. Then. And so she said, you kept going anyway. She said, that's special. She said, keep going. She said, stay in school. I was like, man, I'm trying to get to this. I'm trying to do this. I ain't even like school. I didn't.
Nobody does.
Nobody does. Well, if you do, condolences to you.
Man,
you know
shout out to you.
But, kudos to you. But, and then the second year was Brian White, who in Tyler Perry's one he did with Taraji P. Henson.
Oh, I can do bad about the
I
dude.
Can Do Bad All
the
By
one
Myself.
that you know, I got a little beef with him, man.
You got beef with him, dog?
I wish he was still in that tub when she threw that drug on radio. I was like,
man, when she did that, I was like, that's the most gangster moment I've seen,
for
boy.
real. I was just talking to somebody. I literally was just talking about somebody about that yesterday.
Oh, for real?
And I was like, man, I wish she would have just. Oh, I wanted her to get him so bad.
Yeah, that's the same guy, man. But I'm gonna tell you something. He told me something. We were in the car, and we were going to the location. Now he's one of the reasons too that I didn't limit myself. That I started writing. He's one of the main reasons. He said, we parked up. He's in the passenger seat in the front. I'm in the back, and Mr. David Tucker was going into the house of the location. He's the one that started this whole program. And I was talking to the girl. She was one of the counselors. I think she was assistant or whatnot. But she was asking me questions about acting. And she said, do you want to do anything else? I said, no, I just want to act. And then Brian said, why not? And I said, I haven't thought of anything else. He said, look, don't you ever limit yourself. And during that time, I'm like, why he talking to me like that? And I didn't realize till I got older what he meant. But he says, never limit yourself. Do everything that you can. You don't know what you can do until you tap into it.
Right.
I ain't know then. He was putting me on some real serious game.
Yeah.
Then as I got older, I was like, I heard that man's voice say it, don't limit yourself.
Right.
Simple 5-minute conversation with this man. You know what I'm saying? In the car. And I'm like, I knew that was God lining that up. I'm in the car with the guy, riding to the location, and he said, do not limit yourself. But like that was God telling me, I ain't limit you, so don't you limit yourself.
Right.
You know? So man, you know, the game I done learned. And then Cole from Martin came the third year.
Word.
My last year. Yeah. You remember that one? You know, talking with him, I mean, man, look, simply through that camp, I talked to some people that were from the industry and learned some things from them. Early before I even got into it, just to hear their stories and their journeys and all of that. And that was something I don't think I know I couldn't get anywhere else. I know I couldn't get anywhere else.
That's beautiful, man.
Yeah, man.
That's cool. And that's cool because like you've always known.
Yeah.
Since you, like you say, when you was 3.
Yeah.
You were like, man, I want to be on the TV. I want to be on act. And then you
you
grow up. You know, as you get older, life kind of started hitting a little bit.
yeah.
So you just like, maybe I might not be on TV, but I can get at the Birmingham Theater. You probably was like, you may have got to that point.
No, I never got to that point because.
Did you ever get like a little bit discouraged?
I got discouraged, but when I got discouraged, I realized I said, man, I can't
quit.
I can't quit because of what I wanted was too big.
You want to know something? Tell me if you relate to this too.
Yeah.
I've gotten to a point where I quit, and then probably like by the end of the day,
Something
I'm like, I can't do it.
Yeah.
I can't quit.
I'm gonna tell you this. I got to one day I was watching, I think it was either the BET Awards or the Oscars with my mama. We sitting on the bed watching this joint. And during that time I was like, man, I don't know. I think I'm gonna hang this jank up.
Wow.
This was right around this when I first signed to my talent agency in 2015. Like when I graduated high school, I signed right out of high school.
Word.
To my talent agency.
Word.
And this was when it was like a real long draw of nothing. Then Black Lightning came up. And so I'm like, I don't even know what this show is. I'm going to just audition. I ain't even know what the show was, bro. Like this was when it first started to hit.
Hey, man, you threw me off. You threw me off. I had something great for you.
Oh, but you good.
I had something great for you.
We'll get into that later.
For sure.
But yeah, I stuck with that. I knew that if I'm gonna do this, because what I wanted watching the Oscars and the Grammys, dog,
Word.
That's where I wanted to be. I didn't want to do, and like I said, there's nothing wrong for anybody else who has these ambitions to do the theater in Birmingham, to do Red Mountain Theater, to do any of that. But I knew what, for me, I wanted that. Like I want that. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I wanted to be that big, I know I got to keep wanting to get there.
Right.
So I did. I'm still doing whatever God tells me to do. At first was do whatever I had to do, but no.
Do you still watch a lot of TV and movies?
If I do, I watch it for the different reasons, man.
You watch it to dissect that.
I'm watching to dissect.
Yeah.
But I don't watch a lot of TV, man. Like we don't even have. I don't think a lot of people have direct TV no more.
Especially with the cable.
A lot of people don't have cable either.
Yeah.
But if I watch a movie, it'll be something that I like, or it'll be if I want to see something new. Like the other day, I was watching The Devil All the Time. It's on Netflix with Tom Holland. Bruh, when I tell you, it's only a few films that can do this, that can get me stuck and glued to it, especially if it's something new. I can tell in the first 10 minutes if it's going to be good or bad.
Yeah.
In the first 10 minutes, you can tell if a movie's going to be good or bad based off the first scene.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, no, this finna be crazy.
Yeah.
I sat and watched that movie all the way through.
Wow.
I watched it all the way through.
Yeah.
And then when I got to the end, I was like, because when I watch a movie now, I can tell based off of how the writing goes, based off the acting, the talent, the way that the camera, I'm looking at everything.
See, I need about 30, but now I'll be like, I need about 30 minutes, and I'm just like, this ain't for me.
Yeah.
So you'll know off real.
I know off the first scene.
Word.
Off the
So
first scene.
do you are there movies that you know off, like, are there like movies or shows that are like your favorite, like you watch them now and be like, you can read the lines almost, like you be like, he finna say such and such, he's so stupid, or he
Man,
be like,
look,
I love this part.
I got a long list of movies, man. Very few little TV shows, but man, like Blade 1, 2. Of course, all of us in here, Black Friday,
of course.
you know what I'm saying? But Rush Hour. You know what I'm saying?
I am you.
You know what I mean? I'm you. All of that, thing, bro. Like I can every line off of that. But like I said, The Moment Returns, the what's Dark Knight. That's one of my favorite movies. Yeah, The Dark Knight, the second one. But yeah, I got a long list of them, man. But as far as TV shows, bro, that's one of my favorite. I don't know for every line yet, but I can sit and watch it all day. Lovecraft Country.
Oh man, I love
Dog,
bro.
Lovecraft Country.
Yeah.
When I tell you that show is
heart was broken. When they said it would come, I was like,
when they said they weren't renewing it for a second season, man. Bro, the way that ended, you gotta do a second season.
Man.
You got to.
For real, man. I heard at one point she was looking to go on Apple.
Yep.
But here we are.
Who knows, man? But that was one of like.
And I love Journey Smollett.
She, bro,
a beast, bro.
She has been at it for.
First time I ever seen her was Selma Lord.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That was the first time I ever seen her. But she was in a TV show before that. I think her family had their own little show. Smollett something. But yeah, Selma Lord Selma, bro. That movie was at her age to be acting as dope as she was acting, bro.
Killing it. I
think she was like 10 or 11.
Yeah.
I was like, it's you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But dog, and to see where her career got to even after that, I'm just like, bro, ain't nobody giving this girl her flowers enough, man.
Right, like, she one of my top 5 female actors.
She is insane of an actress, bro. Like
actress, yeah.
But when I saw Lovecraft, I'm like, yo, they need to get her Emmy for this.
Man, I loved it, and I loved her. You ever seen Underground?
Yeah, bro. Let me tell you this real quick. In Underground, bro. Tell me, now the thing about SCAD, dog. The perks about SCAD. Whenever there's a new show or stuff like that, I ain't gonna say nothing about Black Lightning because we're gonna get into that
for sure.
But Journey Smollett and Aldous Hodge, those two and a couple other cast members and the director came to the school.
Wow.
And did a panel. They showed us episode of the new season and they came.
Word.
And I was like, Lord, bro, that's crazy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like being in the same room with these people, bro.
Yeah.
But I was like, that's Journey Smollett.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, yo, this is wild, bro.
Yeah.
It's wild. So just to sit and hear her tell her story about the love she had for the show and the acting, but I was like, man, ain't nobody giving her flowers enough.
Right.
Man. Ain't nobody doing it enough.
Yeah. She definitely deserves it.
Yeah. She's well overdue.
Yeah.
Well overdue.
So you said you got your favorite TV shows and favorite movies. I'm gonna bounce some of my favorite lines.
All right.
And I want you to tell me.
Oh, lit.
I want you to tell me if you can tell me what movie or show it came from. All right.
I hope I'm up on this joint, dog.
All right. This one of the only movies that can make. It's like 2 movies that can make me cry. This one of them. Mr. Gardner, what would you say?
Coach Carter.
No.
What
would you say if we hired a guy who had no shirt on? He's like, he must have had some damn good pants on.
Oh, hold on.
I probably butchered that a little bit, but
it's cool. It's cool.
Yeah.
Mr. Gardner, how would you feel if you hired somebody with no shirt on? So you better have some good pants on. Oh, yo. I probably don't even know this one, dog. I'm gonna be honest with you. All right. Come back to that. We'll come back to that.
Okay. All right. I had to go look at it. All right, we'll come back to that. I'm gonna tell you that.
All right.
In Pursuit of Happiness.
Oh,
And
that
when he
scene,
that's when he
that
got the
joke,
job at
that
the
joke
end.
is when he got the job at the end.
Yep.
I ain't know that. Bro.
Right.
That's crazy. Well,
You
I
feel
ain't
me?
visualized
That movie
that.
right there hit me right here.
I think it hit every
single time.
That last scene, man. I think that movie was insanely heartbreaking.
Yeah.
But the end,
Man, the triumph in it though, it was beautiful.
Yeah, the outcome of that. And I was like,
yeah.
Story. But
Yeah.
godly.
I know
I'm embarrassed, boy. That's what happened. Is I'm supposed to know that one, man.
Right.
Come on, dog.
Now this one, I don't know if you said anything about this one, but this one pretty particular. I know everybody was kind of like kind of open arms about this one.
Yeah.
Tasha, I just lost the love of my life.
Tasha, I just lost love.
It's kind of recent.
Oh, it's kind of recent.
Yeah, it's like 2018, 19.
2018, 19, 18. What came out in 2018?
It's a show that everybody's just in love with.
Come on now. Come on. I can't miss both of them now. I can't do both of them wrong, boy. Come on now. Tasha, I just lost the love of my life. TV shows. I ain't watched a lot of TV shows. That's the thing, bro. I don't. Especially 2018 and 19.
Like I said, I ain't gonna hold this one against you because I ain't saying nothing about it.
Yeah.
Okay. You ready?
Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
This is Power.
Yeah, because I ain't watched Power.
You ain't watch Power, man. It's a great show to binge.
Like people say that, but man, he didn't fit. Shout out to 50, man. I remember one time I was thinking about auditioning for Power, and I was like, bro. And then they had the amount. I think it was like a certain role in my age. It was. I found some about it, and I saw where Kendrick Lamar was gonna be in it. I was like,
crackhead.
Yeah. Like, I gotta get. But yeah, I never watched Power. People always talked about it because Empire and Power was like right there at the same time.
Yeah,
so.
I never watched Empire.
I mean, look, I watched one episode. I was like, all right, you know, I'm saying, I'm like, it was like, okay, this kind of like Power, but I mean, because the way that it was all inspired and all that, but it just felt like it. But it was just like, yeah.
I got two more.
All right, what you got?
All right.
All right, bro. Come on, dog. That's 2 out of this 4, man. Come on, you gotta get 2 more in there.
Okay, I got 2 more.
What you got?
I liked everything except for them raspberry peas.
Martin. Martin. Yes, sir. All right, we got one.
Yeah.
We got one.
Okay. I
Yes,
gotta make sure I got this one right.
Yeah, man. You know.
All right. She chose his pale ass over me.
Boy, that's simple. Black Lightning, dog. Come on, man. Come on.
Who said that?
Me. Said that. Come on, family.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man.
How that came about?
Yo, man, listen. When I tell you that was all God, bro, I'm going to tell you the full process. So, in 2018, my agent sent me an audition request for this new show called Black Lightning. And I'm like, so what is that? So I started looking it up. The show ain't even started yet. And it hasn't aired yet. So I started looking up Black Lightning. I'm like, oh, this is a DC character. So I'm like, okay, cool. So I started doing research on it. Black Lightning is like, oh, this dude fire. So I was like, all right, let me audition for it. And so I auditioned I sent in 2 self-tapes. I auditioned for it twice. And I didn't get any response. Usually in acting, if you don't get a response, you didn't get the role. You know what I'm saying? But so I didn't get the response on the first 2. So I go back to SCAD for that quarter. This was in February 2018. This was right around the time Black Panther was getting ready to come out. And we had another panel, so there would always be, around that year, they would always have TV shows and stuff like that come and do panels. So crazy enough, I started looking at the tickets, and they saying Black Lightning, the DC show. I'm like, yo, I just auditioned for that. So I checked to make sure. I was like, is this the show that so I had to look it up. It was the exact same show. So I gotta go. So I get the tickets, man, and I go down, and they had it at SCAD show. It was a theater that was owned by SCAD. And bro, some of the cast members that were in the show, even the director and the producer were there. And mind you, bro, so we would sit, like, this was a small little theater, so we could all sit and you could see the cast members were right directly in the row in front of me.
Wow.
Right in front of me.
Wow.
And so I'm like, oh, this is the dude from, so they playing the episode. So when they finished the episode, I'm like, yo, this is dope. So we did the panel, and I talked to one of the cast members, and right after the panel, I asked a question to the director, and I asked him. I said, "Do you believe? So, how do you think we can correct black on black crime?" And everybody in the room was like, "Oh," I was like, it was a real question." And the director said, "There is no such thing as black on black crime. There's only crime."
Mm.
And I was like, "Okay, that's dope."
Mara Brock.
I believe so.
Yeah.
The original
the one
people.
That, yeah. She made girlfriends.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But so when the panel's over, I talked to the cast man. I told him, I said, "Man, hey dog." He said, "Yo, man, I just auditioned for this show twice, man. It's like I'm really hoping I get on." He said, "Third time is the charm." The guy that I talked to, you seen Kevin Hart's True Story?
True Story.
With Wesley Snipes?
Yeah. Yeah.
His bodyguard.
Word.
That's who I talked to.
Wow.
He was sitting right in front of me. So I talked to him and he said, "Third time's the charm." He said, "Third time's the charm."
Wow.
And so I was like, cool. So I auditioned the third time.
Mm-hmm.
No response.
Mm-hmm.
So that's when I was at that point. I was like, all right, man, whatever, dog. So around that time, my mother had she had surgery. She was doing a reduction. She had surgery, and so I was like home taking care of her, helping her out. And man, one of them days I was just down, bro. I'm just like, man, this acting thing ain't gonna kick off, man. I'm just like, I guess I ain't gonna get the role. So I check. Some tells me check your email. So I check my email and nothing's there. Go to your junk email. So I went to my junk and I get an email from my agent. I'm like, oh, it's another Black Lightning audition. So I'm like, at least I get that, you know. And but as I read more into it, it's not an audition. She said they're requesting to see if you're available for this shoot. I said, available? I said, yeah. I'm still thinking it's an audition. Yeah, I'm available to do that. She said, these are the dates. Are you available for these 2 days? Do you have anything going on? I said, no. She emailed me back 5 minutes later. Okay, you're booked.
Wow.
I said, hold on, I'm booked for what? She said, they have a role named Joshua they're booking you for.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, oh, Lord. And I'm like, yo, this is crazy. So I run downstairs, man. I'm lit. I'm like, Ma, I just got booked for a role. She's like, I got booked for that role of the TV show Black Lightning.
Mm-hmm.
She said, I said, Ma, I didn't have to audition.
Wow.
But those 3 auditions prior, that was just God lining everything up.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, all right.
Love and passion.
Love and passion, bro.
Yeah.
Love and passion.
And I love that about the story because, like,
yeah.
You got to points where you, like, even, like, right before you said you know, sent the tape in, you was kind of low.
I was low.
You feel me?
You know what I'm saying?
But your love drove you just like, I'm just going to give up.
Yeah.
But like, you just sent in an audition tape. You didn't expect nothing.
Because, I mean, I didn't, that's the thing. I didn't send an audition tape. She asked me if I was available to do it, and I just said yes. Simply off me saying yes. Then she said, okay, you're booked. Yeah. Like when somebody says you're booked, you don't have to audition. You got the role.
Word.
So I was like, oh, that's no audition, but that was just what God had. So I get all the information, man, from my agent, and the next following week, I go in on that Monday. We start shooting that Tuesday. Mm-hmm. So that Monday, I drive to Atlanta.
That's where they shoot?
Yeah.
Okay.
In Lithonia, Georgia, where was we at? Mm-hmm. And so I went down that Monday to get the costume and everything set up. They were in a warehouse. Like whenever you go to like these big studios, they be in these warehouses. They ain't got no signs on them or nothing. You would never know it until you went there.
I know it.
And so I get up to the security gate, and she says, "Are you DJ?" I said, "Yeah," but it freaked me out, dog, because I ain't never, you know what I'm saying?
Know my name?
Yeah, right. And so like, "You DJ?" I said, "Yes." She said, "Okay, come over and park over here this way." So I pull in the parking spot, man. It had like on the parking, like when you pull out, when you see handicap sign, it said Black Lightning cast member.
Wow.
So I'm like, oh, this is lit. This is real.
That was a real surreal.
That was a real surreal moment for me. And so I got there early. So I waited for like 45 minutes, and then I went inside. And I sat on the couch, and somebody came up to me. She says, "Are you here for fitting?" I said, "Yes." I said, "You DJ?" I said, "Yeah, I'm DJ." So 20 minutes later, somebody came and got me to check my wardrobe and everything, make sure I was all good for the next day. Then I get an email. Well, a couple of days of that, I get the email with the call time, the location, and also where exactly they would have me sitting at. So I get up the next morning, man. I got up early. Call time was around, I think it was 11. So I got up around 8 something, just get my body up, getting ready, you know, and start driving down to Lithonia, because from Atlanta to Lithonia is like, with traffic, Atlanta traffic at that.
Of course.
Like 35 minutes.
Yeah.
So I'm like, nah, let me get up before that, you know what I'm saying?
Of course, yeah.
But here's the thing about it, bro. when you get to a point where God really starts blessing you in a way that you've been praying for, the enemy always show up with some in your head.
Right.
While I'm driving to set, bro, all I hear in my head is, they're going to make you go home, right? They already found a replacement. On the way there. And I'm talking about it's banging in my ear. That's how loud it was. So I'm like, nah, I'm going to keep on driving, keep going to set. So I was like, nah, go and turn around. They don't want you no more. Loud in my ear. You know what I'm saying? Nah, they don't want you. They already replaced you. They're going to, so I get to set. When I get to this location, it's a discreet location. It's between this old piece of hood that went down no more in this old motel.
Yeah.
So I parked. That's what the address led me. So I parked right there. Ain't no other cars out here. But I see this big Sprinter's van, Mercedes Sprinter's van. So I'm like, I start getting nervous, bro. I'm like, is this the right place, bro? Because ain't nobody here except this Sprinter van. Like, I ain't trying to be, you know. You know what I'm saying?
One of them kidnapping vans.
When I kidnap, you know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't trying to be set up or nothing. But, But then I wait about 10 minutes and a couple of cars pull up. And they get out and they get on the van. So I'm like, let me check and see if this is where I'm supposed to be at. So I grab my bag out of the car. I go up to the Sprinter van. I tell her, she says, good morning. I said, good morning. How you doing? She said, are you DJ? I'm like, yes, ma'am. She's like, okay, come on, take you to set. So cool. So now I get on the van and I talk to the lady for a little bit. She takes me to this spot. So you have the set and you have a base camp. So they took me to base camp. And on base camp, they have the wardrobe, they have the makeup artist, they have that's where the lunch is, that's where everything is as far as prep and stuff like that. And we were at this church. And I get up there, man, it's like 3 different trailers, but they're all connected as one. And I start seeing people from the crew, they going in and out the church. So I get there, and this one, I think she was the assistant. She definitely wasn't assistant director. That's AD. She's not an AD, but I think she was a PA. So she came and she said, "Hey, DJ, how you doing?" She introduced herself and everything like that, and she said, "Well, come here and get your wardrobe." She handed me the contract. Now, when you get to these sets, bro, you got to sign these you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
sign these contracts.
You got some NDAs?
No.
You have to sign those, though?
Yeah, we do. Non-disclosure agreements. Got to sign that. And because that comes along with the contract, too. So sign that, and then she hands me the sides. So what sides are is basically scripts for this. It's a script for that scene or for that day. So it's about this big. I still got it.
Wow.
I still got it. And she hands that to me, and as I'm reading it, I'm trying to get into character, understanding, and all of that. And so, and I'm thinking I'm finna go into the church and change because I ain't been. That's all I knew. She said, "Oh no, we got you over here."
Wow. Like a dressing room.
Had a trailer.
Had
a trailer with my character's name on it. I'm like,
wow,
bro, this is crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, this is stuff
Yeah.
I be seeing like in other movies and stuff like that. I'm like, bro, I feel like a A-list actor for real.
That was God showing you like this meant for you.
Foreshadowing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Foreshadowing, you know? And I was just like, man, and the feeling I got of that. That was the happiest moment I ever been, dog.
Man, I'm going to tell you, like, I was telling people, I was like, man, my boy, I got a homie that's on the show. I'm telling people like it's my episode.
Right.
I was like I was real happy for you, bro.
Thank you. I appreciate that,
I was real happy
man.
for you, bro, because, I mean, like I say, you always had that passion. Like, that's just what you wanted to do.
Yeah.
And then to see you do it, it's like I couldn't have no hating, nothing like that. I'm just like, man, oh, okay, he doing something, I'm not. He killing it. You know what I'm saying? Because I know, for one, acting world ain't like the rap world, where, like, it's easier to get heard in rap world. Shoot, we can pull up SoundCloud and, hey, listen to my Spotify and all that.
Yep.
But I can't, I pull up to you, hey, watch my audition tape. Nigga, I don't want to see this.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So for you to get to that point, it was like, oh, he doing something right.
Yeah, man.
He doing something right. And I want your story to be like a part of, no matter where you from, you from a football state.
Yeah,
state that's more mainly,
right.
We talking about sports.
Sports.
Either on sports, get your CDLs, or go to college.
Either that or,
or hit the military. Or the military or the streets. Right.
Military or the streets. You know what I'm saying?
For you to like carve out your own lane and say, look, this is what I want to do. This is what I want to be. Right. This is what I want to be known for. This is what I want my legacy to be. Off my passion. Man.
That was
and I appreciate that. Like that.
Yeah.
That's gonna show a lot of people like to keep going on their journey. Bro.
Hey man, it's a journey, man, and it's a long one, not a short one. I'm still on mine. My story is not done complete, but
for sure,
hope I can do more.
And we're gonna do a part 2 on that.
Hey, for sure, man.
So now I got a quick one.
Yeah,
cause we got a rush. We got a quick one. I got a quick one.
What you got?
I got a quick one. Real quick. All right. What's the best movie theater you've been to?
The Bistro out of ATL.
Word.
The Bistro. Look that up.
I want to go there.
Look that up.
One album you can listen to for the rest of your life.
Damn by Kendrick Lamar.
Okay. Bet. Top 5 black classic movies.
Top 5. All right.
Give me 3.
Menace to Society.
So.
Jesus, come on now. Come on, man. How I go blank that fast, dog? Blade. I gotta have that one.
Blade.
And
it's one you better say. You better say. We said it one time.
Come on, man.
Friday,
dog.
Of course, got to.
I can watch that every day, all day.
Top 3 Christmas movies.
Oh man, Grinch. Number 1. What's the one with Mars Chestnut? And
This Christmas? Not this Christmas.
I like this Christmas.
Best Man.
Christmas number 2.
Best Man Holiday.
Best Man Holiday.
For sure.
Yeah, man.
All right, one more last thing.
What you got?
It's all you. What message you trying to get across with your art?
The number 1 message I want to get across with my art is you gotta do it for the right reasons.
Word.
Figure out, first off, is it what you're supposed to be doing? Is this your purpose? And if it is, why do you do it? Do you do it for you, or you do it for God's will?
Right.
And do it for the inspiration and change in the world. That's why I do what I do. I do it to change the world. I come from a city that's limited, so I got to do it to change it.
Man.
That's my message, man.
That's tough right there. 'Cause you definitely going to change it. You making a name for yourself, and people going to respect that name. People already respect that name, but
hey, I appreciate that, man.
You giving them a reason.
Yeah.
You giving them a reason, man.
I try to, man.
Man, I appreciate you coming on,
Appreciate you, man.
Oh,
for sure.
Lord, man. That's a chop it up. We got to sit down again, man.
Yeah, for sure, man. You know.
Yeah, and it's the Blow Up Podcast.
Hey.
We'll see y'all soon.
Yeah.